The world is under attack by aliens. These aliens are bug-like creatures, with many legs and many antennae, with buggy eyes, and they kind of smell. And do you know what's worse? They're yellow. Now stay with me. There was a meeting in regards to this alien invasion of all the most powerful people in the world, and the most influential people in the world, like the CEO of McDonald's, the highest viewed model on OnlyFans, people of real value in the world. Now what they did was come together for a meeting to determine the one person to deal with this alien menace, these yellow buggy aliens. And they decided upon me. So I am the one that had to come up with a plan on how to get rid of these buggers. So I got in contact with the aliens, scheduled a meeting, which was no easy feat. They didn't make it easy for me. The aliens wanted to meet on a Tuesday at 6:45 p.m. Like, what a bunch of twats. Who's organising a meeting for a Tuesday at 6:45 p.m? What's wrong with 7 or 6:30? Who organises it for 6:45? What a bunch of controlling pieces of shit, just trying to throw off my night. Now, needless to say, I did not go into this meeting with the highest of hopes, because it already pissed me off with the time of the meeting. So the meeting didn't go well, to say the least. Now, it's not all my fault. As it turns out, these aliens are just giant fucking crickets. We already have crickets on this planet, and they're irritating little fuckers who deserve to be eradicated from the world. So we don't have room for more of them, especially if they're yellow. So I said that to the giant yellow crickets. They didn't like it. They didn't like what I said. So these aliens have now planned a full-on invasion of the planet. Their goal is to annihilate everything and destroy us all. So this wasn't good news. I was a little nervous to go back to the meeting of all those powerful, influential people, but it is my job, so I had to do it. But they also weren't happy with the result. But I went back to them with a plan. What if we assembled a group of 7 superhero lizards to take out the aliens? They agreed with me. They thought it was a great idea. So they trusted me to go and assemble a team of 7 reptile superheroes. Let me tell you, these people may be powerful and influential and rich, but they are dumb as all hell for trusting me a second time. I already fucked up the first one, but hell, let's go with this anyway. So I've assembled a team of 7 superhero lizards to battle these chirpy fuckers, and to save the planet and all of us. I feel like this could be good for the reptile hobby in general, though. I think people that are scared or a little unsure about reptiles are going to really perk up when they see just what they did to save the planet. So here we go. This is my team of 7 reptile superheroes, starting with the first, the captain of the squad, Spikebeard. He's a bearded dragon, by the way, hence the name. He's the one that comes up with all the plans, and he's usually located at the team's base or headquarters. And the main reason for that is because he's lazy and spends all of his time laying down with a heat lamp mere inches from his head. But when it comes down to it, man, can Spikebeard put up a fight. His main combat tactic is to fill himself with air until he's almost double his normal size. Then his beard starts to blacken. It's kind of like a time bomb. Once it turns fully black, all of the spikes along his back, his head, his beard, they all just fly right off his body in every single direction, taking out any of those little chirpy yellow cricket buggers. Now this battle tactic does not follow the rule of friendly fire, because any of his fellow superhero colleagues would also be getting spiked to absolute oblivion. So he's more of a last-ditch defense than anything. You don't really want him in the main field of battle, because there's going to be a lot of casualties on both sides. He's also just really lazy. Did I mention that? But that's the captain of our team, Spikebeard. An absolute legend. You know what? This team of superhero lizards needs a name. Like, it needs a cool name. The Repti Squad? Nah, that's kind of lame, innit? You know what? Here we go. I'm going to list 4, just randomly off the cuff right now. We're going to choose the best one. When I say we, I mean me sitting here. I'm going to choose the best one, and you're just going to go with it. The Cold-Blooded Commandos. That one's alright. Can I think of a name where we incorporate the Greeks? Like the Spartans or something. Oh, the Scaled Spartans. That works. The Clawed Collective. Yeah, that works. That's number 3. Oh, we've also got Repti Squad, so that's 4. So the 5th one, the Lizard Lords. So there are our 5 names. There's a bit of a problem. I just said those off the cuff now, didn't write them down, so I don't remember what the first ones were. We're just going to call it the Repti Squad, and then when Editing Matt edits this video, hopefully he'll put them in the video so it makes more sense. But I can't remember what I just said, so we're just going to call it the Repti Squad and continue from here. So the second member of the team here, the Avengers have a Hulk. We have a Tokegecko, and he's called Megamouth, and he's our angry, strong, socially awkward member of the team. Now, Megamouth can be a bit difficult to control. Sometimes it's best to kind of let the fight happen, leave him in reserves, and then just drop him right in the middle of it. Rather than letting him ramp up, that can be a bit of a mistake because he can turn in the wrong direction and start attacking his allies. Now, Megamouth has multiple abilities. The first being Thunder Chomp, which is where he bites down as hard as he possibly can and it creates a shockwave, which sends aliens flying to fucking nowhere. And then there's Death Bite, which is kind of simplistic. He basically just kills anything he bites. Not really much to that one. Now, he's probably the strongest member of this team. No, correction, he is the strongest member of this team. Which is great, but it comes with a few downsides. He basically just loves to bite things. So if no enemy is around, he will just bite his fellow superheroes. Which can be a bit of a problem when there's a world to save and your biggest, strongest member of the team is actively trying to sabotage the other members of the team. But every superhero squad needs that one overpowered lunatic. Megamouth is ours. The third member of the Lizard Squad here, Riptide. Good luck guessing what the hell I'm about to do from that name. But he is a green basilisk, in case you didn't guess. He's the super speedy member of our team, moving so fast that he can run on fucking water. Now, his abilities are kind of limited, if I'm honest. He basically can just run fast. Not much more to it. He's mainly good at scouting and spying on the enemy, but he's good at getting real close to the enemy without them even knowing. They just think it's a swift breeze, if anything. And he does have the prettiest costume too, by the way, which is obviously one of the factors. When we bring new superheroes into the team, there are 3 factors that we judge, the third being costume. If you have a good costume, good chance you'll get in. And I mean, we don't really need speed, to be completely honest. Most of the reptiles are relatively fast. He's just a fraction faster. We mainly have him in the team because he's just got the best costume. We need a bit of style, you know? It makes us look good in team photos. Fourth member of the team here. This is the stealthy member. A panther chameleon called Blender. This girl, and yes, I did say girl, this superhero squad is not a pure sausage fest. She can camouflage to blend into any of her surroundings, hence the name Blender. She did not get that name because she used to work at a Jamba Juice. She can also turn invisible, by the way. And lastly, she's a sniper. So she can take out targets without them knowing where she is or even how close she is. Now, there is one issue with Blender. She suffers from manic social anxiety and depression. Henceforth, she's not the most reliable of team members for the squads. And due to her powers being invisibility, it can sometimes be hard to tell if she's even shown up at all. So she's great and a valuable member of the team when she shows up. The fifth member of the team here, and this one's my favourite, Tailblazer. And he is a leopard gecko. Now, Tailblazer here is the weapons specialist of the team. Doesn't really have any powers per se, but he has an absolute arsenal of weaponry. He spends most of his time hiding in the shadows with a detonator of some kind, and just lets all of his tactical weaponry do the rest. But Tailblazer does have a secret backup tactic, though, if he was to get captured. A last-ditch weapon. If he gets swarmed by these pesky yellow buggers, and it seems like all hope is lost for Tailblazer, he drops his tail bomb, and then he quickly legs it out, just away, and then he turns back to admire upon the giant explosion that his tail bomb will leave behind. The giant mushroom cloud of goodness. I think he's just a fan of all the pretty colours, you know? Just likes the explosions, the sound and everything. It's kind of like a rave party, if anything. And by the time that explosion goes off, he's already regrown another tail bomb. Now, he's not allowed to bring his tail into the headquarters. Not anymore. We won't be making that mistake again. Next up, Clad, an armadillo lizard. He's the tank of the group. He gets sent into the most dangerous areas of the battlefield and just sets up shop. Tanking all the heavy hits, all the little hits, just tanking absolutely everything. I forgot to lower the seat. He mainly teams up with Blender when she shows up, that is. He tanks all of the shots, everybody's putting all of their time and effort into him, and then Blender just picks them all off slowly, from a distance obviously, when she shows up. He's kind of like the fodder member of the team, but indestructible fodder, because man, can this little fucker take a punch or two, or kick, whatever giant crickety aliens would do to fight him. My imagination is wearing thin at this point. I'm not really sure where to go with that one. Let's just leave it there and move on to the next superhero. And now we're on to the last member of our superhero squad here, Shard. And he is a legless lizard, or a European glass lizard, whatever you choose to call it. Now, to be honest, Shard is kind of a useless member of the team. I mean, all superheroes have weaknesses, right? Superman with the kryptonite, Blender, glass of bleach. Shard's weakness is basically anything. Like a ladder is a weakness for him. But every superhero team has that one useless kind of superhero. I mean, Avengers have the bow and arrow guy. Like, what the fuck is he gonna do if a bunch of aliens show up? Would you want the bow and arrow dude, or would you want Hulk to show up and help you? I would go with the jacked, steroid-induced lunatic over the guy with a bow and arrow. Now, the Avengers also have Black Widow, who has fuck all for powers, but she does look good in that suit, so I'll let her have that. But I mean, the bow and arrow guy is just absolutely pointless. And so is Shard. He is our pointless character that doesn't really provide any value to the team, just diversifies it a little bit. But alright, this is it, the final showdown. The 7 reptiles versus these ugly yellow crickety alien buggers. So I've got a coin flip ready to go here, and we're going to say that if it lands on tails, because they're lizards and they have tails, then they defeat the alien menace. So let's flip this coin and see what we get. Shit. Well, so much for that. Guess that's it for the humans then, huh? The aliens are going to take over the world and destroy us all. It was a good run though, right? I mean, they tried. Oh. Guess this is my last video.